All right, guys, we got Ben in the chair today, and we're gonna have fun with this one. He actually came in with a shape that I really like, and he actually said he likes his current hair, he just wants to go shorter. So this is where a lot of people would look at this and be like, oh my God, it looks crazy and messy, and they would just go and use the clippers and remove everything. This is where I wanna take advantage of it. I really like how the natural hair already has all this texture. So if you guys look, there's a few things that need to be tweaked. I actually like where the length in the fringe is, but all this needs to be reduced. We could play a lot more from the sides. We could have a little bit more texture, and if we reduce some of the weight through the crown, this really will stand out. And the goal here is to really bring out the shape from the sides, from the profile. I really want him to pretty much walk out of here looking like a model. So that's the end goal. Let's see if I can get the job done. Let's have fun with this one, and you're gonna see how I'm able to do this in 20 to 30 minutes, but you're gonna see a massive difference in this haircut. Let's get to it. All right, guys, step one, from the profile of the nose all the way towards the back. Nice and clean. Okay, step two, from the apex, boom, to the mastoid, bring everything back. Now bring everything forward. Then we go back from the back, boom, okay. Separate that, bring it all down. And now, guys, cleanly, with tension, we're gonna have nice, beautiful panels. Look how we do this. Step one, boom. Black on black, baby. Step two, we leave this. We don't have to touch it. We've already separated the back. Step two, look at this, guys. You see the line? All you gotta do is match it. Okay, beautiful. Bring it all back. See? Nice and clean. And bring everything forward. And look at this, guys. When you bring everything forward, you have moisture in the hair. Look how beautiful and easy it is to just separate that hair. Look at that. Nice and clean. We'll bring it all down. There you go. Come back from the front. Take everything from the hairline straight into your comb. Okay, with tension. Okay, with tension, hold, grab your clip. From the root, you could also use two. Two is always better because this way we guarantee that it stays that way. Perfect, look at that. This is what you call 10 out of 10 sectioning. This is what you call section God. All right, so again, first step is doing what? Is identifying the problems of this haircut and also figuring out like how is this gonna be played? How we're gonna cut this hair? How's this all gonna look? So I think right now, if I'm gonna be completely honest with you, if you look at the face shape, I think right now, given the lengths that we have in here, and it's mostly all from the external, it's covering some of the cheekbones. What I want is a slimmer side. I don't want a bigger side, I want a slimmer side. And how we're gonna do this is using graduation. But I'm gonna actually have some disconnection. I love the nape. I really like how this is sitting. It's gonna look really nice when it's dry, but I also actually don't mind the length in the crown. If we look at where the crown is sitting and how it's jumpy, the crown isn't the issue. The real issue is actually where the occipital is. All these lengths need to be reduced, and this is what's going to allow a better transition through the sides because we're going to graduate it. Let's get to it. Let's have some fun. Guideline's going to come from the crown, nice and square leading up to the bottom, but we might leave it disconnected because we want to keep the weight through the nape. Okay, let me show you how that's done, and I'm going to show you a different way to cutting this. So first step, look at this. Everything comes down nice and clean. Nice and clean. You don't even need any clips. Step one, you could take the comb, bring it all in and separate. Okay, step two, same process. Comb comes in, separate. Now we have the first section, pinch. Like I said, you could do it in two ways. You could also come in from here, okay, and just cut it this way. So we come from the top, you see, comes in here. Okay, I could also tell just by looking at the comb, is it square? Okay, guidelines in here, you could already see it's triangular. We want the inverse, we want the opposite. Boom, and we're gonna stop at the occipital. Okay, boom. That's our first initial section. Kept all the way through the back, leave, and then we take another one. Again, it's preference. If you feel like you can cut it square, cutting it that way, go ahead. I technically prefer just doing it this way. So I go pinch, head position straight. Again, I feel I have way more control. Round horizontally, guidelines in here. Nice and square, body positioning is nice and square. There we go. Okay, now we could just refine a little bit. Okay, bring it all down, separate that panel, bring it towards the left, boom, 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 come back from the top, pinch, grab, and beautiful, same process. Okay, bring it all down, separate, put it towards the left, come back from the top, and now same process. Again, round horizontally. Last section. Okay, let's see. Beautiful. Okay, look at that. That round shape is still in there, but we have that length that we preserved with that weight, which is what I wanted, because the hair is actually quite fine, but we have that beautiful movement. Look at that. Incredible. You actually can't get any better than this. Perfect. Let's move on towards the other side. All right, guys, so incredibly happy with the shape. And let me show you what I mean by this, because we've kept all the weight. It's sometimes very difficult to find exactly the balance between keeping the weight and having that beautiful weight that moves, right? That weight, when I say weight, I mean removing the weight, having a round shape that moves while maintaining that weight and having it visually still look the same. Very difficult to achieve, because you're gonna have to figure out, again, the density of the hair makes a difference, the growth pattern, how the hair sits. So as technical as it is, a lot of it is just visual as well, guys, okay? And that's gonna come based off experience. So don't beat yourself up. It took me 6 years to learn this, right? So let's get to it. I'm just very, very happy with how this is actually sitting. So next step, bring everything back. Again, what don't I like about this and what do I like? So what I actually like and what I don't wanna do is, his hairline's actually quite weak in the front. So right now I'm actually considering, you see all this? I'm actually considering not touching it at all. And what I wanna do is actually start from this point. And we're gonna go in, and we're actually not gonna cut the external length. I wanna keep that external length. I wanna focus on the area of the head that has the most amount of weight, and it's right here. So all this we're gonna leave. We could even elevate it later. And I'm just specifically gonna work on this section, because this is the biggest problem. Grab it, bring it into my comb, and look at this. It's gonna be so easy for us to cut this, because my guideline's already in here. Boom. Notice that? Okay, again, make sure I don't cut any of that length that I didn't. Boom, there we go. And now what we could do is elevate that into that section, so we have some visual connection. Okay, drop, beautiful. And we could still, you see, now we have movement while maintaining that external shape. And now it'll be a lot easier to bring it back to previous. Let's see. There we go. So we have it going back while maintaining the external shape and keeping all that weight through the back. This is, I mean, this is hairdressing at its finest. Cool, let's move on towards the other side. So we're gonna do something a little bit different, and I want you guys to, this is why understanding the visual is so important. The issue actually isn't here. Most of the time we go and graduate this, the real problem's all in here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna isolate the front, because I don't wanna use this, because I actually like the external length, and because it's fine, that's the last place I wanna cut. I'm gonna go directly to where the problem is, which is here. And like I said, I actually don't mind the external. We're gonna leave this in here. We're gonna keep all that external length. And the first actual section is gonna be where it's heaviest, which is right here, okay? And look at this, guys. I'm gonna be able to find my guide, because we already cut the back. And all we're gonna do is cut this square from the lengths of the back. Okay, we're gonna come from here, boom. Okay, coming back from the top, and here we go. Guideline, and making sure we're cutting this round. Again, elevation, here we're gonna slightly over direct, and there you go. Now we have our initial guide on the area of the head that was the thickest. This is where we can now over direct the previous and follow the same way we would typically through graduation. There we go. See, connect, that's it. Move on, same process, back to previous. And we're just gonna soften some of that. Okay, now what we have, you're gonna be able to see now, is you have graduation internally, but while keeping that external shape, and we could always refine it using our feather or however we want. And the best part about it is, look at this, guys. We kept the area that had the weakest density, right? So now we're able to actually visually also make it look full. That is why it's so important to look at the hair visually and make a decision based on that. Cool, let's move on. Okay, so the next step, as you guys could tell, like I said, I really like the length in the bangs, but it's way too heavy on top. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back from the top, we're gonna separate it. And because the hair is actually quite straight, we gotta be very careful on how much length to cut. Okay, because if we take too much from the back, we're actually gonna reduce way too much from the front. And I wanna keep that weight. So we're gonna pick this up, and look at this. You could already tell the problem of where the weight is. It's actually, funny enough, it's right there. But we could also still reduce some of the length in the back. We're gonna pick it up from here. You could almost even use this as a guide, drop, and we're just going to point cut. And the reason why is because the hair is so straight and fine, the last thing I want is creating lines through the hair. And there you guys have it. Maintaining all that weight, keep it, come back from the top, and we wanna make sure that the lengths through the sides are also quite short. So we're gonna make sure we're going round horizontally as well. Okay, step one, all the way from the top. Okay guys, let me show you how to separate the top to the side from the front. Okay, separating this right side. Okay, from here, you take a subsection like this. And what we want to do, guys, is still keep all this texture, but making sure we're going square. The real issue is actually the face isn't opening up because it's way too long in the middle. So ready? A little bit of tension. Okay, that's step one. Step two, same thing on the other side. Next section, again, no elevation here. We want to keep as much weight as possible. Okay, guidelines in there. Okay, beautiful, amazing. Okay, so at this point, we still have all the weight, but I feel like we could still reduce some of that weight from the front. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back into my layers and refine a little bit more of the front so then it sits a little bit tighter to the head. So we're gonna bring everything back from the top. Okay, and this is how we're just gonna reduce some of that a little bit leading up to the top. That's just gonna get it really tight to the head. Final step is we're gonna put a bit of product. We're gonna actually diffuse it. We're not gonna use the blow dry, we're gonna diffuse it. We're gonna refine some of the nape, and that's about it. Again, this haircut doesn't require much. It's just gotta look very natural. It can't look like, and especially because he's gonna wear it very naturally as well, it's gotta look like he just, you know, came out of bed, styled it a little bit, while still maintaining everything with all the texture in the front and having that beautiful shape that really just stands out. I mean, already, what a big difference to the face it's already made. Look at that. Okay guys, so this is my final look on Ben, and as you guys can notice, fringe got a little bit higher, but we have a lot more texture. We have movement through the sides that really blends in beautifully with the fringe. We have that nape that we kept. We have a little bit shorter lengths through the occipital, and everything, if we look at it visually, just makes sense. We have so much movement now that he could kind of just wear his hair however he wants. He could wake up, run his hands through it, and it's just naturally gonna sit there with barely any product. We also reduced all that weight past the crown, so everything from the top, we went round vertically leading up to something triangular and round horizontally. And this is my final look on Ben. I hope you guys liked it. We refined some at the very end as well, guys, for that personalization at the very end. So I hope you guys liked it. I'll catch you guys on the next one, and thanks for watching.